know halfway through, I'll read it.
The time is now 6:30, Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, and we are here at the Pine Ridge Clubhouse located at 4801 Lakeside Club Boulevard for the Pine Ridge at Fort Myers Board of Directors meeting. The meeting is now called to order. Before we stand to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like all of us to take a moment to honor the memory of longtime residents who passed away since our last meeting. Very sad, Leroy and Betty Feltry, former residents of Pine Ridge for many years. They passed away in their home due to carbon monoxide poisoning. I don't know the true or all the details, so we're not going to get into that. It's a very sad situation for the family. Along with Scott Harris, who we all know, longtime resident.
Didn't you see him?
You all know he was our board treasurer for 7-8 years. Gave a lot of service to the community. He wasn't out in everybody's face. Kind of private individual, and he kept his medical situation to himself pretty much. So to me, it was a little bit of a shock having him here recently, and then having such a sudden turn in his health. Let's take a moment to share the memory of Leroy, Betty Ann Scott. Thank you very much. Now let's stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dan Connolly also passed away. Johanna's husband, Dan Connolly. He also passed away.
Sorry, we didn't mean to
I'm sorry.
We didn't mean to overlook Dan.
You're Mike.
We didn't mean to overlook Dan. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ann, would you please call roll?
Bob Tolles,
Here.
Tom Trino,
Here.
Bob Geisler,
Here.
Bill England,
Here.
John Moll,
John is absent, or did he come through?
He's on the phone.
He's on the phone.
Ann Irvin, here.
Hi,
Oh,
John.
Michelle, I'm sorry. Michelle, I didn't get you right in here.
I'm here
Michelle
too.
Camp. is
I'm here.
She's the quiet one.
John, you can hear us, right?
John's calling in from Arizona. He's out around the Grand Canyon.
Watch your step, John.
And was the meeting properly noted?
Yes, it was.
That's up there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was. It was properly noticed.
Next up is the open forum. Do we have any residents signed up to speak tonight?
Just one that changed their mind.
Oh, she forgot.
I lost my mind.
That happens. Do we have a motion to either read or waive the reading of the previous month's minutes?
I make a motion to waive the reading.
Second motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. As president, I'm very grateful for the volunteers that once again came through for the community. They just jumped right in there and get the job done. We had a situation where the joiner section between in the middle of the clubhouse needed some repair. They did an excellent job. Found the materials, we matched it up, and that repair is 100% solid. They filled her in with concrete instead of having the wood transition, and that was the problem, it rotted. So again, thanks Noel, Charlie, Dwayne, and Bob Geiser. I don't know if he was whipping you guys or not, but really appreciate the help. And along with Noel, who likes to trim trees, I found out. Saw some branches out there that, needed trimming, so he got her done. Thanks very much for that, guys. Next up, we have the manager's report.
So I wanted to try to be brief with the manager's report because we have a long agenda, but then I ended up filling up several pages here, so we'll try to be quick. We're working on a number of large projects that are coming up for the board to consider in the near future. Roofing, we've got 33 remaining buildings that need roofed. The insurance claim and also the insurance renewal, and that's going to be discussed. Cable TV and possibly an internet at some point. Our contract with Comcast expires in February of 2025, and typically you need about a year in advance if you are going to switch. If you're going to stay the same, you don't need that much time in advance. Resolving some of our big delinquent accounts in a positive way. Irrigation repairs. We had some problems with the pump. We had the pump replaced. Then last week when Comcast went out, that messed with our communication abilities with the pump. We got that corrected today, so we should be back in business irrigation-wise. And another thing I want to mention, I know that Comcast was out last week. They were upgrading our infrastructure. I think that may have been in response to a meeting that we had with them. However, we don't like being out of business for 3 days in a row. For people who, and this is good for hurricanes and for situations like that, you can buy an antenna, an over-the-air antenna for $10 to $12. And if you have that just for situations like that, you'll still get probably all the networks, and there's like 20 other channels at least that you can get. And you can buy those at Walmart or Target for under $15.
Big lots, $12.
You get big lots also. Animal trapping. Every year, one thing we like to do is thin out especially the raccoon population, and then the armadillos that are digging tunnels under everybody's house, possums. So our wildlife removal specialist, Bobby, he was able to catch and remove 20 possums, 24 raccoons, 3 armadillos, and they were pretty big, the armadillos, actually. Those were some big boys. 1 cat, 1 feral cat, and one rat. And apparently it was a pretty good size rat. So those are all the critters that we removed. We had some reports of a bobcat roaming around the property, and we did set up a bobcat trap, and we put some special bait in there, really tried to catch it, but we were unsuccessful in catching the bobcat. lake fountains are now repaired, working properly, both of them. The clubhouse floor repaired. I want to just, again, reiterate what Bob said. Thank you to the volunteers. We have a professional job, and the total cost was $300 with the materials. I tell you, if we would have went any other way, a flooring company wouldn't have done it. They would have tried to sell us a whole new floor, and so we're very thankful to those guys. There's $300 instead of thousands, so we should be very lucky that we were able to do that. Bob Geisler installed a new spring for us at the pedestrian gate where you can walk through and key lock up at the front gate. But we believe somebody is leaving that gate intentionally open. I don't know the reason. I don't know if it's for them to be able to get back out because they don't have a key, or if it's going to let somebody in. But if anybody knows who this person is, tell them please not to do that. Come up to the office. We can provide them with a key. But basically, they're propping it open. Like when we put the rock in the door of the clubhouse and it's unlocked, it's the same concept up there. And we really need to stop that. If not, we're going to have to come up with some other security feature, which is only going to make it more difficult for the people who use it the right way. So if we can get that message to the person who's propping that open, we don't want to do that. And thank you, Bob, for putting on the spring so it'll close behind people automatically.
Excuse me, Eric.
Yes.
Is it, I didn't even know you could come to the office and get a key, so I had no idea how somebody would get the key. But, and I hate that we have to do this, but is it possible just to get a little sign that goes on the gate, or is there one already that says, please be sure the gate closes behind you? It's an issue of security.
We could certainly get that sign. Signs,
I know they don't always
they don't
abide,
work.
but
Well, if the people read them and follow it, they
Yes.
work.
They're
They work
deliberately
great. But
propping
they
it
don't.
open.
If they read it, then they don't do it anyway. So, but it's a good idea, or no trespassing, or something like that. You should maybe say all of that.
Trespassers will be shot.
There you go.
No warning shot.
There you go. It's probably true. So yeah, just please keep an eye. I mean, if you know who the person is, if you don't want to talk to them, let me know who it is. I'll talk to them. We have the key system that we have is the do not duplicate keys, and you come down and you fill out a form. We'll issue you one, and it's very simple. There's no reason to prop it open because it's a major security issue. We've had some issues with homeless people more and more in the area. We had some homeless people, we believe, living in the edge of the cow field right behind the fountain. We even had to put in a new section of vinyl fence to block off that area, and then we're ordering some heavy-duty bougainvillea, so if they try to hop over, they'll be in for a surprise in that area. But yeah, leaving that gate open is just inviting a problem, and I know if John were here, good thing he's on the phone because he wouldn't like that sound of that gate being open either.
John's here.
I was thinking we could see your face. The spot at the deep end of the pool that was chipping away, they did a repair on that, and it's not chipping away anymore. The bingo machine has been repaired. I'm told it's working very well. The bingo player's happy, I hope. Trash service is reduced to once a week until the fall. That's something we do every year when the snowbirds go back up north. This past month, the association acquired another backup generator. This one's to be used as a backup if our primary generator fails, but it's also primarily to be used for our maintenance staff. And if there's a hurricane, our maintenance department can stay in business with a generator back at the shop, and we'll have a generator here powering the clubhouse for all of you guys. The railing at 9950 Sailview that had broken away from the concrete has been repaired. The Elias Brothers did that. They did a very good job for us. We're working on plans for repairing the seawall. We've got a number of different companies bidding, and we've got a number of different ideas. We want to do it in the highest quality, most cost-effective way. I'm hoping there's some insurance coverage on it, but We still do not have the insurance report settled. I did have a preliminary talk with a public adjuster in case we're not satisfied with the outcome. We'll be ready to go with somebody to help us from that point. Next, I'm going to get into some reminders that I hope everybody here and everybody watching online noticing a lot of personal items like flower pots and little statues and yard ornaments and things like that coming out into the front yards again. Now, we did a really good job last year getting all that stuff taken in and under control. And we need you guys to really follow that. If you don't do it, you're going to be in a violation. We're working on something that's going to automate the violation system where you're going to be hit with violations. And we'd like to see that system not have to issue that many. Just do the right thing. If you're missing something out front, if you'd like to have flowers along your garage, don't put flower pots out there. Come and see us, come and see the landscape committee, come and see me, and we'll get you the right plantings that'll make it look good. But it's got to be following the rules. That's very important. Another thing is subleasing. Subleasing. These are single-family homes. Single-family homes. It is not allowed for you to rent a room out to another individual who is not a member of your immediate family. You're allowed to live there with your immediate family. It's spelled out in the documents very, very clearly. If anybody has any questions, I can point you to that section. I believe it's 13.2, but I have to double check that. But there is no subleasing, no roommates, no Airbnb, none of that. There's single-family homes. The entire home can be rented out for a 3-month period of time, and that's the minimum. And you're not allowed to have a roommate. They're single-family homes. So I just want to make that clear. Parking. I'm getting a lot of people coming in and saying the parking all over the place is getting out of hand.
Looks like trailer park.
Yeah, I've had that comment, the trailer park comment, or one of those way out in Lehigh Acres, somebody said this is the way they park with the cars all over the place. Especially overnight parking, have a little courtesy for your neighbors. When it's dark outside, if you got cars all over the street, it's not a good thing. Don't block the person next to you's garage. If you're parking in front of the garage, you know where the spot is that you need to be so the other person can clearly get out without an inconvenience. Do the right thing. It's the golden rule. I say it all the time. If everybody followed it, we would only need that one rule. To our YouTube watchers, and we actually do pretty well on YouTube. We got a report today. We had 170 people watch our YouTube channel last month for almost 4,000 minutes in total, so that's pretty good. I know that some of you say that you can't hear us very well during the live stream meeting, and that's part of the nature of live streaming with the system that we have, and we do want to upgrade that at some point. But we record it with 2 separate cameras, and we upload the second camera, which is a lot better quality, to YouTube the following day. So I know it's fun to watch it live, but if you want to hear a better quality and see better quality video, you can look at our channel tomorrow night, and you'll be able to see the 4K or 1080p video. And I know I said it was going to be brief, but I didn't do that, so that'll be all for tonight.
Thanks, Eric. One thing I want to stress about the volunteers, and Eric mentioned that we save money, which is true, but that's not the main goal of this. That's not the real reason I believe that these people are volunteering. They're just wanting to give back their skills, something back to the community. So, going in, the plan isn't, well, we can save some money. We don't, encourage people to trim the tree limbs, but look at Noel, he's very capable. I don't want anybody getting hurt on any of these projects, worse than Bob got hurt. That was perfectly acceptable, a little scratch.
Look at that scratch.
But seriously, we're not gonna put anybody in danger in any volunteer situation. So I just want to let the community know that we do care and we do look out for everybody when they're working on a project, except Bob.
And for the volunteers, it's not just the work that we appreciate, it's also the resources. Charlie actually knew the flooring people very well, and they went out of their way, found the last box that would match this floor. They said in the world, happened to be here, and probably left over from when we bought it. And we were able to go get it, and you know, they went out of their way and found it right away, and that's because of his connections. So we appreciate his work and his resources.
Bill, do you have a treasurer's report?
Yes, I do. I'll be briefer than what my protege was. Okay, I can report again this month that the treasury remains stable. We have a draft of the balance sheet and income statement from the accountants. The completed financial report will be ready next week. We're a week ahead of time in our meeting. It's fell at the wrong time, so it's usually the week of the meeting. So we were the reason we didn't have it this week. At the end of April, we had a meeting of the budget committee and reviewed the current budget and some of the challenges the community will have in the relatively near future. Our insurance premium are a serious issue, and the estimates on the increase in the cost is quite a bit. This is on the agenda as the item to discuss tonight. Additionally, the insurance company wants all roofs to be under 15 years old, and up until last year, the guidelines always had been 18 years. Keep this in mind, these are 30-year shingles that we installed, but now they're only gonna be good for 15 years, basically. The rising cost of material and labor, in addition to the charges, is unstable, is usable life, I'll get it right in a minute, will have us in a tough spot with what we currently have saved and what the actual cost could be. What we projected for the roofs to be and what we actually have is not hardly the same. So we're gonna have to do some work on that. I will be talking about this more over the next few months to keep everyone aware of the situation we are up against. The association resolved its largest delinquent account since the last board meeting. This will be discussed later in the meeting, and as it is on the agenda as well. That's all I got.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Bob, I know we have something going on for a committee meeting for landscaping.
The landscaping committee is abandoning us for the summer. About over half of our people are leaving, so we're winding down a little bit for the summer. We're still going to have meetings once a month rather than once a week like we've been doing. But since we've got the irrigation system back up and running now, we can take a closer look at some of the problem areas we've got. We'll be doing that in the near future. But that's about it. I want to thank Michelle for, not this Michelle Locke, I don't think she's here tonight, but for taking care of the butterfly garden. It's doing well.
Excellent job.
Yep, so that's all I've got in the landscape committee for now.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep.
Ann, you may have something on the rules.
No, sir.
No, sir. I'd like everybody to know that the board has directed Eric to take care of these violation situations, as he already mentioned. So, you know, don't hate Eric completely. You can spread it out here. Tom?
Yeah, as far as the website committee goes, we're progressing. Things keep being added to the website every week. We're going to do another sign-up meeting on Friday at 1 p.m. here in the clubhouse. So anybody's still having trouble getting signed on to the website, come on down, bring your laptop and your phone or tablet or whatever devices you're going to use. Bring them down and we'll help you to get hooked up and ready on there. I wanted to mention just a couple personal items because John's not here to tell us about all the gadgets out there. Something that my wife and I have used for, 15 years now is a combination door lock. If you ever have reason to change your deadbolt, I strongly recommend the combination door lock that's just got a push button. It makes life so easy. You're not carrying keys around. You don't have to worry about it. If you're up north or out of town, you need to let somebody in. You can create multiple different codes, and then you can erase them afterwards. So you let the furnace guy in and then erase the code. It works well. And for Eric, he doesn't have to keep track of various keys around too. So it's a real convenience. They can be expensive. I've seen them over $100, but you can find them for 35 or 40 bucks. The other thing I wanted to mention, we don't pay our water bills. None of us gets a water bill, which I loved because Minnesota was ridiculous. But we do pay it. The association pays it, and it's thousands and thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, yeah. If you've got a leak, if you hear your toilet running, or you've got the faucet dripping, let us know. That can add up to a lot of money, and we've got 460 residents. So if you've got a little leak, let Eric know, and we'll try to get that fixed and stop that. If we can save a few bucks on our water bill, that'd be awesome. Anyway, that's all I had. Thank you very much.
Yeah, be responsible with our water bill on a yearly basis, about $250,000 to $260,000 for the year. And that's if nothing bad happens, like those leaks and things we had last year. So.
Thanks, Tom. I know if John was here, he'd tell you to slow down. Speed limit's 15 miles an hour in here. Don't let people tailgate through the K. And there's probably a couple other things I'm leaving out there. But
you want to say anything, John?
John?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we hear you.
Everyone can hear you.
Everybody.
Good. Did we talk about my RFP or my light poles?
We're
And
gonna.
my new cameras?
Yes, yep.
Thank you.
Don't forget about the ring doorbell.
That's how he took the trip.
Does John have an opinion on ring doorbells?
Okay, we have some old business to discuss.
I give a short lake report.
Oh, I'm sorry, sure you can.
You got too many hats.
I know it. It won't take you just a few minutes. What I wanted to really say was, the lake continues to be in good shape, even though right now it doesn't really look that way. We've got some algae floating on the west side of the lake, which is being pushed in by the wind. That's being released from the bottom of the lake, but that's not the blue algae, but it's actually a better algae. It just looks bad, but the birds love it because the insects get in that and start eating on it, then the birds get a feed from it, then the fish love it because it brings the smaller fish in, and then the bigger fish gets to eat them. So it's just part of a continuing cycle.
Circle of life.
Yeah. So as soon as the rainy season comes in and the rain starts, it'll knock that down and it'll be gone. It's just for a short period of time. And I know it looks bad, but actually it is good. I talked with the guy out at Pond Watch, the De La Vega is his name,
and about it to make sure that it wasn't a bad kind, and he said it's good. We're in good shape. The water clarity is up some and still continuing, but it's gonna go probably on the other side as soon as the rainy season comes in. Phosphorus level, which was up the last 2 months, is back down into normal levels now, so that's good. The riprap, well, we're still working on it around the lake to get it repaired before the hurricane season comes in, especially on the south end of the lake, because that's usually, the north end, I'm sorry, is where the water pushes to down toward Sailview when we have a hurricane. Hopefully, we won't have one this year. That's good. I made sure.
Thanks, Bill. Did you notice the lake is a little low?
Yeah. All right, the duck is showing.
It'll come back up.
Yes, hopefully we'll get some rain soon. So we have some old business to discuss. And if you remember last month, we nominated Michelle Camp as the newest board member. We introduced her. Tonight I would like to let her take the floor and
Deer in the headlight.
Here we go.
introduce herself to the Pine Ridge residents.
Thank you, Bob. I know a lot of people here only because my husband and I have been in Pine Ridge since like 2001. We live over on Sailview in the condos, so I kind of all along for many years have felt like I wanted to serve on the board, but I was working full-time and just didn't see that I was going to be able to do that. But I have had experience on the social club. I know what it's like to try and make people happy and come to the realization that you cannot make everybody happy. So I do have that kind of experience behind me. I've also been in management. I worked at the hospital, retired from the hospital after 12 years there. Stayed home, did some ministry work with my husband in the jail, and then went back to work when he went into a memory care facility. So I've got a full-time job now and care for my husband, but I decided this was the time to kind of step up and help out. I'm glad to take to fill the position. I don't know what will happen after this, but I'm glad to help. I've been here a long time. I feel like I can also represent the condo dwellers. Since the majority, I think, other than Bill, everybody else is kind of in a villa. So I kind of feel like I can kind of bring maybe a different perspective. And having been here for as long as I have, I've seen things that have worked in the past, haven't worked. But I can tell you this one thing, having been here this long, this community is as beautiful today, honestly, as it was when we moved in 22 years ago. You know, we've had some storms in between, we've lost some trees, but it has been so well maintained, and we are really very fortunate. I think it's a great little diamond in the rough in this area especially, and to be able to hold down our expenses that as we have over the years. Things are changing in the world, not just here, but in the world. So that may also change, but I'm just looking forward to being a part of this aspect of serving in the community. So that's just me. Thank you.
Thank you.
So glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, we are. So we have some other good news to share with you. If you recall back, it's been going on for a little while, but the board directed Eric to investigate into the possibility of acquiring the unit at 9540 Windsor Club Circle. And I want to let you know that Eric was successful along with Bill England. They made several trips, and the end result is the community now owns that property, and it prevented it from going to public auction. It was 2 days away from going to auction. The court system would have had their hands in it, so we believe this was the best for Mr. Toole, and apparently he did too after discussing it with his family and friends. All in all, just a sad situation to have somebody, be a shut-in, and but again, the individual's choice. Not much else I can say about that, but I do want to thank Eric and Bill England for getting involved and pursuing this for weeks on end. So, thank you. Habitat for Humanity. I always had the gut feeling that this would happen, and that was just reinforced that much more. For those of you that know Buc-ee's was going to build a gas station, I-75 and Martin Luther, and they couldn't get the okay from the county for the entrances that they wanted, and they ended up selling that huge chunk of property, and rumor is they made like millions on it. Surprise, that's the same situation that we have going on with the Habitat for Humanity. We have spoken with Habitat for Humanity, and they have abandoned plans to develop the land south of Pine Ridge. And they placed the parcel on the market. Eric has printed copies of the listing for everybody to see the parcel being marketed, and we will stay on top of this. So anybody looking to purchase a chunk of land, Carl, he's all over this. So now we're into phase 2 of that. Somebody's going to purchase it, and then we'll see what's going to be developed there next. But there are a lot of very nice subdivisions going in around here, so hang on and hold tight, and we'll see what happens next.
Is there a possibility of us buying the easement before the property sells?
I would say anything's possible. Bill likes to buy stuff.
Yeah. He's got plenty of money.
You know, and get a little sliver of that, you never know.
I think that's something we don't need to laugh about, I think
No.
something we need to take seriously and pursue and see if we can do that before the property is sold.
Yeah, because if you remember where the markers are out here on the south end of the lake, they're basically right in the lake. So, we had an agreement with them to give us, to deed us a piece of it or give it to us or whatever. But now, that's out and gone, so we really do need to try to find somebody to talk to.
Yeah, it would make a huge difference if we could 40, 50 feet of that edge. Just as a side note related to that property, they paid $1.4 million for that property. They've listed it for 9.5. Little bit of a profit.
Not bad for a not-profit organization.
Well, the cow pasture out front,
Same thing.
it's the same thing, and it's sold for $6.5 million,
Yep, so
just last June, so.
Do we have the information on who owns that to make contact with them?
We've made contact.
yes,
Oh.
yes, and
Habitat is going to be a new owner of those two.
and
You have the realtors on there.
Okay.
it doesn't hurt anything to call, and
Buy
I'm
it before.
sure we can do that real quick here. Moving on, we've been approached by the social committee to change some of the bylaws wording, so on and so forth. We need to have, we've had a little bit of discussion, but we would like to sit down with the social committee and get a better understanding for the changes here. So we're gonna arrange that somewhere towards the end of the month. And that will most likely, unless things change, be probably 3 board members involved in that. Do we need any discussion at this time? Any thoughts? We've all looked at it a little bit. So.
Having been on the committee, I don't mind sitting in as a board member with this when you want to finalize discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'll help you out also.
Okay. And I'll probably be there, since I suggested we all get together. And, yeah. John's on top of it also, so.
You can't have too many board members.
No, 3. Light poles and damage from lights from the hurricane. As you all know, we've been working very hard trying to locate quality light poles, a supplier. We've gone through quite a few bids. John and Eric have connected with local wholesaler lighting supplier called Frontier Lighting. They have submitted a quote to us for purchase 10 new concrete poles and 23 light fixtures at a cost of $20,345. In addition to this, we would need to coordinate with our electrician for the installation. This will be based on a time, equipment, and additional parts required. We estimate the installation costs to be between $5,000 and $10,000. Why such a spread? Well, pretty much with any contractor, they give you a price, and there's a lot of unknown when they start digging, looking into the wiring, and so on and so forth. So we've estimated $5,000 to $10,000 for that. We hope to come in on the low side naturally. The project should cost under $30,000 in total. The good news, because John and Eric went and started sourcing out and looking for the actual suppliers, this is $25,000 less than the closest bid. So again, your board's very diligent and resourcing materials and picking contractors. We look for quality, good job, and of course, we're always looking at the price. So we did that by going directly to the supplier instead of involving a middleman in that project. So huge difference.
Thank you so much.
I'd like,
Good job, guys.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes.
I, like, across from me, the pole's there, but the light just, it has no light anymore. Will they be replacing the light too?
We need to replace any of them that are dim or flickering or out, and if we could get the safety committee to maybe survey, we could give them a golf cart, they could survey the property one night and make a list.
Yeah.
All the light poles are numbered, so if we just get those numbers, then we can put them on the list for the electrician to do. It'd be good to coordinate it all at once.
John did go out at night and look at the lights, see how they were, the brightness, and so on and so forth. But that's probably been a few months. Things change after that, so we will do another inspection of those lights so that we catch all of them. We want to light this place up. Don't want any shadows, dark spots. So, do I have a motion to move forward with the lighting project?
I will make that motion, move forward with the lighting project to spend up to $30,000 to light the place up again.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion?
Do we want to put the cap on that at 30? Because we really don't know what it is at this point. If the installation may be more than that, but if it's less, that'd be a great deal, but.
All right,
I don't wanna-
let me reword that, that
Okay.
we will turn over, the lighting to Frontier Lighting, is that what you said it was?
We're gonna source it from Frontier Lighting, and then the installation cost is a little bit of an unknown, so if we wanna say approximately
Right.
30,000.
Approximately $30,000 to relight the place.
Thank you.
I second that revised motion.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's unanimous. Okay. Maybe I lied. I said we had a bunch of good news for you. So now here we are. Property insurance update. If you're not aware of the insurance situation in Florida, it's because you're in Alaska. It's not good. Why a Hurricane Ida claim has not been resolved yet, we are coming up to the time of the year when we have to renew the property insurance policy. Eric, Bill, and I believe Tom met with Lori Ambrose from Brown and Brown. She presented us with some early figures that showed dramatic higher premiums for next year. She's going to be working on this, but has prepared us for the possibility of a 50% or more increase in premiums for 23-24. The policy renews in July.
The appraised value of our buildings has increased by about $10 million. And that, along with the market.
So, next month for our June 21st board meeting, staying on the topic of insurance, Lori Ambrose is going to attend next month's meeting to answer questions and provide us with some more accurate figures. So you definitely want to come down to the clubhouse if you're here next meeting.
June 21st.
21st of June. If you're not here, tune in. It should be interesting.
And she's gonna have some additional, or more specific numbers at that time, is what she felt also.
Yeah.
For the three of you that sat down with her the other day, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, the one thing that I would add is last year we had a big increase also, and we went shopping around. And we talked to some of the bigger agencies in town. We the board very seriously considered switching. However, the price is the same. It's who do you like better as your insurance company. When it comes down to that, as far as certificates for mortgage companies and all the things that Brown and Brown has the infrastructure in place, they're one of the biggest, and the price is the same. There's really nothing that can be done. I mean, we had these other agents sit across from us and tell us it would be the exact same price no matter what. Not a very good sales pitch, but that's that. It's basically who do you like better? And so, with that being said, we've been with Brown and Brown for a long time. There's no reason to switch when they've been as good to us as I guess they could be.
Nope.
One thing that she did say that, and I kind of chastised her on it a little bit. She said that some of the places were going up from 100% to 800% in their premiums. And, you know, I told her, I said, I really didn't care about these other places. I only cared about what it's gonna cost us and everyone here. And she didn't really like it a whole lot, but, you know, but I thought it had to be said, you know, I want what we can get for the lowest cost we can get, but buying the same motion, I want to get the best coverage to take care of everybody. So she's going to be back, and we kind of held her feet to the fire to have us a number, like Eric said, that would be really close to what our premium's gonna be so that we can do some calculating on it.
Now, the state of Florida, the legislature, they passed a new law that, the statute always said that if a community or a board wanted to raise the dues by over 15% in a calendar year, that the members had a right to speak up and protest that vote. Now, it doesn't mean that the budget wouldn't still be approved, but they have the right to a meeting to protest that. The legislature, you'd think they would do something to rein in the insurance premiums. It's most likely nothing is going to happen. You know, once in a while we get a hurricane, but not often. But no, they did the opposite thing, actually. Now, the dues can't go up by 15%, by over 15%, or the people get a right to speak up, excluding your insurance premium. So, you know, as backwards as that sounds, I mean, it sounds backwards to me, but you get to back the insurance premium out, and then it's increased without that. And that's, I guess, because they know people are going up by double in a lot of cases or more.
As a homeowner, we all know this, our own insurance has gone up, so it's not a surprise. I hate to be a Pollyanna here, but I'm thinking the fact that we were praised at $10 million higher than last year is kind of a good thing for us too, though. Yeah, I know it costs more, but it also says that the value of our properties is also higher, right? Or am I looking at this wrong?
Well, that appraisal is the rebuild cost for the buildings. The real estate is actually probably worth a lot more. And that's something people should keep in mind. As the dues are going up and expenses are going up, it's happening all over Florida. I'm getting a lot of things from the different associations I'm in about how a lot of people are getting priced out of Florida, like it's going to be where they can't afford to live in condos down here. We hope that doesn't happen here, but this insurance, you're required to buy it as an association. If we don't buy it, we get in a lot of trouble, and the coverage is limited in the event of a hurricane, and it's probably our most expensive thing, and we don't get anything really for it. It's a shame, but this is the way it's set up.
Thank you. Also, next month, not for protection for Lori, for a resource for the community, the resource officer, Sheriff's Department Deputy Javon Matthews will attend the meeting to discuss community outreach, crime prevention, as well as answer questions and address concerns of our residents. We are very grateful to the Sheriff's Office to offer this and always try to work closely as possible with them in an effort to keep this community safe. So again, please attend. You're going to have questions for insurance and the sheriff, so that should be, we'll say, an exciting meeting.
Need a good turnout.
We're going to skip the committee reports next month to try to.
I was gonna say, you're starting at 4?
Don't say anything now.
Yeah. Another thing we have on new business, might have noticed them up on the roof, this Tamco shingle warranty claim. This is related to the algae on the roof installed in 2017. Those are the white shingles that have turned nasty brown looking. Eric was quite involved in that with them the other day, so Eric, can you let us know where we're at with those folks?
So they don't make it easy
To cash in on the warranty here. Every single roof, there's 19 roofs, many of them are 3-story buildings. Of course, you had to go up, remove 2 shingles, and then put them in this special envelope. So 19 special envelopes with 2 shingles each. And then there's a whole packet of information for each one with pictures of all the different roofs. We still have a lot of paperwork to go to submit it exactly how they ask for it, but it seems like one of those things where if you don't do it exactly to the directions, it'll automatically disqualify you, so we're being very careful with that. One of the roofers that's bidding the job for the other roofs took this on as a as we're trying to get in our good graces to get the other business, of course. So we're sending it in. We'll see how it goes. Tamco, the roofer thinks it's going to be successful, that it's clearly algae. He also did an inspection of the roofs. He was a former insurance adjuster. It was the two owners that were out here doing it. And the shingles otherwise are in very good condition. He was in a way hoping that maybe they weren't in good condition and he would be able to get the insurance or the warranty for the whole roof. But really the shingles are in good condition, it's just the algae on them. So it would look nice though if it was cleaned up and it didn't have the algae. So we're gonna pursue this warranty all the way through and go from there. Tamco reimburses, if you're successful, $100 per roof to take the 2 shingles off. So that was the deal I made with these roofers, is we would give them $100 per roof to go up there and do it. I know I wouldn't climb up to the 3rd floor roof for $100, so they really want that business. So we're gonna have to put out $1,900 and we should get that back, plus money to clean those roofs.
Plus postage for a big box of shingles up to Ohio.
Thanks, Eric. One other topic I'd like to go back to, and that's the property behind me here. We had a brief discussion on whether or not we should look into acquiring an edge of that property, portion of it. So, do I have a motion to some sort to have Eric pursue this?
I will make that motion, but I'm not sure it hasn't been made before. I would ask that the board ask Eric to pursue the possible purchase of a little bit of easement back here on this property that is currently for sale.
Sometimes all you have to do is ask.
I'll second.
Do I have a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Little discussion.
Little
first.
more discussion?
Also, in there, if we could amend that, Eric, can we look into the rule of adverse possession? We've been using that for 30-some years, and I know the laws in the state of Florida say if you've been using a property with no objection from the owner, or no knowledge by the owner, we could file a deed on it after 7 years. And I don't know if you've talked to the attorney about that yet?
Yeah, I think because that easement is in place, but we should look at that together. Maybe you and I can work together on this. Because,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of different ideas that can be done there. And that property is a lot more valuable attached to us than it is
Really?
off of Tice Road. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities and things that could be good for Pine Ridge or bad for Pine Ridge, but we're going to see what happens and do the best we can. Usually it works out for us.
Build a big fence.
Build a wall.
And could you please repeat that motion as it stands?
You want it amended?
No.
I move that we instruct the manager to investigate the possibility of purchase or acquisition of some other way of the property by the lake that is currently for sale.
Do you have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That was John.
He said aye.
Okay, we'll officially move forward and look into this, see what results we can come up with pursuing it. Okay, do we have any questions related to tonight's discussion? Please. All the way up. We want to get you maybe partially on camera.
Lorraine Kinney. I think everyone knows me. Meeting with everybody, I would like to ask that John Mal be part of that because he is our liaison,
He can take non-voice if he needs to, that's fine.
if we can make that work?
We're agreeable.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'd like Eric to actually be there because he's been working with us. Is that
We're gonna
okay?
make him be there.
Make him be there too.
Yep.
And it needs to be after 3 o'clock.
Yes, it needs to be after 3 o'clock because somebody works all day.
So we'll make it after 3 o'clock, like
Yeah,
3:30?
but 3:30 is good.
We'll have to make
Works
it
for
when
you
Eric,
too, okay.
when John gets back too.
And you mentioned something like the 26th
That,
or
yeah,
so.
somewhere that week after the 22nd, because Bonnie's the only other officer that's here for the summer, and she's away right at the moment, but she'll be back on the 22nd.
So I'll get with you, we'll pick a day.
Okay,
That would be great.
thank you. That's all.
Bob?
Just a quick one. How much money did we get from Brown and Brown in the last claim after the hurricane?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet. It's not settled.
It's gonna go up 50%, and we can't get any money from that.
Well, I don't know that we're not gonna get any. I'm not that encouraged, but it's not settled yet. I don't know if we're gonna have to get an attorney or a public adjuster to settle it, but it's probably good to renew it before we sue them. That's
Thanks, Bob. Anybody else?
I have a question about the shingle.
sure. Step right out.
If the insurance,
Is this the TAMCO? The TAMCO shingles?
pardon?
You saying the TAMCO shingle?
No.
Okay.
Tina Glenn, I live on Windsor Court. If the insurance company wants the roof to be 15 years or younger, but the shingles that we're paying for have a 30-year warranty, can that be worked out where we get a different grade shingle if we have to replace them in 15 years anyway?
They're all 30 or 40
They're all
years
like-
old, pretty much. I mean, we'd be getting a much lower quality shingle. We see what happened. We went with the TAMCO shingle, which is like a builder grade shingle.
Yeah.
And you see how we're having the algae issue and the warranty. Whereas on the newer ones where we did the Owens Corning, they look beautiful. But they're all rated for 30 years, and in Florida, that means 18 to 20 really.
Yeah.
And these insurance companies are just aggressively, soon it's gonna be 12 years. It's ridiculous.
Covering
And-
their
and
own
it-
butt, not
It's,
No.
it's ridiculous. It really is.
30 years is nationwide.
I mean, and there's especially in Florida, there's examples of that, like Sherwin-Williams Super Paint that we use to paint the walls has a lifetime guarantee. In Florida, that means 7 years. So, the sun is just brutal.
My other question was, we acquired that delinquent unit. I'm assuming we're expecting to make a good profit on that?
Hopefully to offset some of our insurance.
Pardon?
Hopefully to offset some of our
My
insurance.
son will be there to go.
So whatever we're looking out for the community in this situation, and we hope to come up very well on this, but we have we need to analyze things, we need to price and look at our options and so on and so forth, but rest assured, we're gonna do the right thing for the community. So,
I have a question before we close, I'm sorry, going back to some discussion about the pool, the repairs that were made in the deep end of the pool, some chips and stuff like that. The shallow end has a lot of chips in the bottom of the pool. Is that something that down the road shortly we're gonna be
I think
doing?
marsiting the pool in the reserve schedule is 2025,
Okay.
so another year and a half. Is what
So wear your water shoes.
yeah, they might be able to be patched. We have to look and
Because
see.
it's raiding the volleyball.
It's probably. It's probably not a coincidence, yeah.
Donna, go ahead.
Yeah, Donna.
I'm talking about the insurance, I'm just speaking, because mine just went up, and it went up 78%. And I called them and I talked to them about it, and they said everybody's is going up the same amount. And they said there's nothing I could do. I called other insurance companies, and they wanted even higher because they want to bring me on.
Yeah.
So mine went up 78%.
Yeah, I know my house, the insurance, like I thought the mortgage was a set price and now it's a lot more because the insurance has gone up.
It's awful. It's awful.
I would like to make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, Ann. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Bye-bye.
Aye, meeting adjourned. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, everybody.
Quote of seawall in the morning is down from here and out.